front of them, Tatnall, Farr, Blacklaw, Walsh. Tunks has drawn well, up in 5. The pack starts to roar. And the green flag falls to send them away into 1985 Winfield International Sprint Car Classic. And a pack of cars goes roaring through turns 1 and 2. And it's Kev Worthington who takes up the running. John Walsh in the number 75 car going right around the wall, and look at him go. He tries to tuck back inside there, but he's certainly up very, very high on the track, Walsh. Now he's into the wall again and bouncing off and losing a lot of ground. In the meantime, Kev Worthington, a really good front runner, has gone to the lead. In second place, we've got Peter Kraft, followed by Terry Becker. Then comes Alan Harris. Sidmore is next, followed by Bob Tunks, and then comes George Tatnall and Dennis Farr, and Steve Kinser is now starting to make some ground, but he's around about 250 metres behind the race leader, Kev Worthington. Tatnall trying to look for the inside of Bob Tunks here at the moment in the Winfield car. Tunks was the winner of the Stars Invitation race, and Tatnall is starting to work on Tunks. Tunks really knows that he's got a handful right behind him, with George Tatnall coming through on the inside to try and get by, but Tunks is still hanging on, and Tatnall can't quite get his way through there at the moment. And one of the JPS cars starts to get up in striking distance, and that's the car of Steve Kinser. Kinser is starting to mow them down now, and Kinser is moving up behind this great battle that's going on between Tunks and Tatnall. Tatnall trying to come through on the inside of Tunks, and here's Kinser looking for the drop on both of them at the moment. He tried to line it up on the inside of Tatnall there, but there was really nowhere to go. Tunks coming up now to hold Tatnall at bay, and Kinser's coming round the outside of him to try and look to the outside of Tatnall, but that's a real hard way to go on the outside. He'll have to try and get Tatnall on the inside if he possibly can, but he just can't quite seem to get within striking distance at the moment. It's still Tunks holding back Tatnall and Kinser, and that's where the main interest is. Admittedly, Kev Worthington is leading the race, and he's got a lead of almost a half a lap at this stage because he's clear in front and he hasn't got any traffic to work through. And the likes of Bob Tunks, George Tatnall and Steve Kinser are having their hands full to get to this leader. Now, if this race continues uninterrupted, Kev Worthington's going to be a very hard man to catch, because in fact he's going away from them. Worthington is in fact going away from them at the moment. They are not making ground on Worthington at all. Here comes the halfway mark, and Worthington's got them covered at this stage. Something's going to have to happen, or they're not going to peg back Worthington. He's just way out in front of Peter Kraft and Terry Becker. Then comes Alan Harris, Sid Moore, then Bob Tunks, George Tatnall and Steve Kinser. But they can't make any ground on Worthington at all. Worthington has shown them a clean pair of heels. Worthington, followed then by Becker, Kraft, Harris, then Moore, Tunks, Tatnall and Kinser. But Kinser can't get clear, and Worthington's loving every minute of it. Worthington's opened up his lead. Still no change back in the pack. It's still Worthington leading. It's Becker in second place. It's Kraft running third. Then Alan Harris is fourth. Sid Moore is fifth. Bob Tunks is sixth. Steve Kinser's dropping back because Mark Kinser's coming up on the inside of him. And the Americans aren't in the hunt. They're not in the race. You can wipe them off now. There's only 4 laps left to go. And it's Worthington way out in front. He's got this sewn up. Becker is second, and Peter Kraft is third. But gee, it'd be good to see Peter Kraft get up there and take out some of the big prize money too. Kev Worthington has only 2 laps to go. Becker has 2 to go, and Peter Kraft has 2 to go. Oh, trouble! Oh, what a shocking thing to happen to Kev Worthington. He has virtually had this race totally sewn up, and it would be injustice for him to lose this. He's He's driven superbly. He has in fact gone away from the rest of the pack. But the trouble down here in turn 4 is Tatnall and the World of Outlaws champ, Steve Kinser. They're hooked up in turn 4. So here is the chance that the Americans wanted, and so too did drivers like Tunks and Tatnall want. They wanted some sort of stoppage because Worthington was just blitzing them.
Ross, they did not gain 1 inch on him. He was actually going away from them.
He was going away, in my opinion, and the other drivers were certainly not slouching. They were locked together in bitter combat. Bob Tunks, George Tatnall and Steve Kinser, but they just weren't gaining ground at all on Worthington. He's got himself hooked up superbly for this race tonight.
Driving a magnificent line too. He made no mistakes whatever, as you say. If this guy doesn't win this, it will be a total injustice.
Now, timekeeper tells us for those 17 laps that they'd taken just a tick over 4 minutes for 17 laps. So they're certainly going very, very quickly. Now, Tatnall's car has been backed off. It might be able to restart. So Worthington will lead from Becker, Kraft, Harris and Moore. So there's 5 Australian cars up there. Then there'd be Tunks and then Tatnall. And the first American car is back in about 7th place at this stage. And they have been totally blotted out at the Motordrome. The bubble has burst for the Americans here tonight. I certainly don't say that with any discredit to their ability, but they just have not been able to match the Australian cars on this Motordrome circuit. Sid Moore is actually up in 4th place at the moment. Tatnall getting mobile in the Winfield number 6 car, so he'll pick up his spot, but he's back in position 7, and with only 3 laps to go, I can't see Tatnall being a threat. Only 2 of the JPS cars still mobile. Now we'll wait for Tatnall to pick up his spot behind Tunks. And Mark Kinser is going to go up on the outside of Tatnall.
Well, the stewards want them Indian file, Ross. No 2 abreast nonsense, Indian file.
Kinser is copying the protest flag here too. I think he thinks he's in front of Tatnall. That's the problem. But he's not. He's behind Tatnall. And the officials just can't quite get that message to him at the moment, that he's actually behind George Tatnall. Okay, Kins has got the spot. Green flag falls to send them on the restart with just 3 laps left to go, and Becker's had a shot on the inside of Worthington. Oh, and he's lost the lead. What a shame that Kev Worthington has lost the lead and Terry Becker's come out in front, but that's the way racing goes, and I'm sure Worthington will accept that. Now it'll be interesting to see whether Peter Kraft can hang on for third. I hope he can, because he's a vastly improved driver, this Kraft, and there's only one to go. Becker, Worthington, Kraft and Moore into turn 1 and 2 for the last time in the feature. And the winner of the race is undoubtedly the number 55 car of Terry Becker. Second is the 49 car of Worthington. Then the 86 car of Kraft. Then came Sid Moore, followed by Bob Tunks, and the first of the Americans, who was Mark Kinser in the number 3. And Terry Becker takes out the Winfield International Sprint Car Classic of 1985. He's managed to be able to climb from the car. He might have been able to get a breath or two. His pit crew have been able to congratulate him, but if we could have Terry Becker over here to step into the number 1 circle at the top of the list, because we wanted an Australian to win tonight, did we not? And we managed to get one in there. Terry, congratulations, you got there. Presentation of the number 1 trophy from Maria. Congratulations to you, and I'd love to have a word with you about that fantastic win. You've been a wonderful supporter here at the Newcastle International Motordrome. Maybe Lady Luck might have shone on you a little bit, but everybody's got to have their little bit of luck to be a winner.
Mate, I think the luck is about time it went our way. Last night we running pretty well in the international down there. And the same thing happened to me as what Kevin did tonight. There was a stoppage. I was running a clear second. Nobody would have caught me. Stoppage, flat tyre, out of the race. So tonight I think it's only just poetic justice. I'd just like to thank some of my sponsors, namely Goodyear Tyres, Car Owners Club, who put a lot of money into my race car this year for the first time. Champion Spark Plugs. Also, the boys that work on the car. They do a heck of a job. Valvoline Oil. And there's Keith and my brother and everything to work on the car to get it where it's going now. Thank you.
Congratulations, Terry. And in second place in our Winfield International Classic tonight, the guy who had it snatched from him right near the very death. He looked like having it all wrapped up, but second place goes to Kev Worthington. Kev, congratulations. And on behalf of Winfield, Lisa, to make the presentation to you. A fine drive. No doubt you would have liked that number 1 had the stoppage not come that way, but them's the brakes.
Yeah, I thought I had it won, but my outside tyre got a bit cold and I had a very hard compound on, and I just couldn't keep it warm in the stoppage, and it wasn't working on the start, so bad luck, I suppose. There's always next week. I'd like to thank all my fans and my pit crew and my wife coming up helping me. The last few weeks we've had a pretty bad run and they've all stuck by me, and I'd like to thank them all. Thanks.
Okay, Kev Worthington in second place. Third place goes to a driver who I said, in my opinion, has been one of the most improved drivers, particularly on this track. And it's great to see you stepping into the winner's circle for a change, Peter Kraft. Congratulations on your third place. Lisa making the trophy presentation on behalf of Winfield. And I really do mean that. Good to see you stepping in here, because you too have kept travelling up week after week here to the Motordrome. And it's nice to be able to send you home with a Winfield trophy.
Yes, it's good to get up and get a second, or a third, I'm sorry. I'd just like to thank the boys, my brothers Steve and Peter and David. They take me up here every week, well, every time we race up here. And you, the crowd especially, we couldn't race without your support on the hill. And to all my, yeah, you blokes too. To all my friends on the Duck Creek gang there, thanks. And, well, thanks to everybody, because you make it all worthwhile.
We'll have some trophy presentations with these magnificent Winfield people. Dennis, Lisa and Maria, thank you very much for being with us again tonight, and look forward to your company again a little later on in the season.